Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're going to be checking out Coinbase's 2025 crypto market outlook.
Ooh, exciting.
Yeah, it's a pretty hefty report.
I bet.
But we'll break down all the juicy parts, don't worry.
Awesome.
And the main takeaway, get ready for some serious growth in the crypto world.
Okay, I like the sound of that.
And it goes way beyond, just like prices going up.
Oh.
The report dives into some really surprising trends like Telegram trading bots.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, just raking in profits.
Wow.
The tokenization of pretty much everything you can think of.
Mm.
And even AI agents managing crypto wallets.
Whoa, that's next level.
Yeah, the future's getting wild.
It really is. It's clear that after kind of turbulent 2024,
Oh, yeah,
with all the interest rate hikes and regulatory uncertainty,
definitely.
the crypto market is showing some serious resilience.
Yeah, it feels like it's really maturing,
Mhm.
moving past that initial volatile phase.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's zoom out for a second, look at the bigger picture.
Mhm.
Like the macroeconomic stuff and the political landscape.
Yeah, those are always big factors.
Totally. And Coinbase suggests that the Fed's recent move from tightening to easing monetary policy,
Yay.
it's going to be a huge tailwind.
Okay.
They even throw out this crazy stat, like, did you know that the total crypto market cap
Mm-hmm.
is now like 10% of global central bank liquidity?
Whoa, no, I didn't know that.
That's huge.
That is wild.
Yes.
It really shows you how intertwined crypto is becoming with the traditional financial system.
For sure.
But, there's this interesting tension around inflation.
Oh, yeah.
While the Fed is aiming for, disinflation, but basically a controlled slowdown in price increases.
Right.
A lot of households actually want deflation. Like, they want prices to go down.
Totally. After 2 years of getting hit with, higher prices constantly.
Exactly. So it's going to be tricky for policymakers to, find that balance.
Yeah, it's a tough spot to be in for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got policy and then there's politics.
Oh, yeah. What about that?
So get this, the report says that the U.S. political landscape has completely flipped in favor of crypto.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm.
We now have a strong pro-crypto majority in both the House and the Senate.
Wow. That's a big change.
It's huge. Did you know that, just in the last election,
Mm-hmm.
we saw a massive jump in the number of pro-crypto seats?
No way.
Yeah,
I mean, that's got to be a game changer.
right.
Totally. It's amazing. Remember just a year ago,
Oh, yeah,
everyone was worried about regulation, like it was this big threat.
for sure.
But now, with so many crypto-friendly lawmakers,
yeah,
regulation could actually be a catalyst for growth.
totally.
And it's not just talk.
Right.
We're seeing, real proposals like Senator Lummis pushing for a strategic Bitcoin reserve,
Mm-hmm.
and even Pennsylvania considering putting, get this, up to 10% of its general fund into Bitcoin.
Whoa. A state putting that much money into Bitcoin?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It seems like the U.S. is really embracing crypto.
It's going all in?
Yeah, and the U.S. isn't alone. The EU's MiCA regulation is being implemented.
Oh, yeah, right.
And tons of other countries are, working on their own crypto frameworks.
Wow, it's really becoming a global thing.
It is. This global regulatory momentum is really encouraging.
Yeah, that clarity and stability is really important.
Definitely.
Okay, so we've got, a potentially good macroeconomic situation,
Yeah.
a political landscape that's becoming more crypto-friendly.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about Bitcoin specifically.
Okay.
It looks like it's going to be more than just digital gold in 2025.
Interesting. So more than just a store of value.
Exactly. And Coinbase points to the phenomenal success of spot Bitcoin ETFs as a
Right.
sign of things to come.
Yeah, those have been doing really well.
The numbers are pretty mind-blowing. Like, since they launched,
Yeah.
spot Bitcoin ETFs have seen a net inflow of, get this, $30.7 billion.
Wow.
That's even more than the early inflows into gold ETFs.
That's a powerful statement.
Right. And it's not just, retail investors jumping in.
Okay.
We're seeing, endowments, pension funds,
Yeah.
hedge funds, all pouring money into these ETFs.
It's clear that, Bitcoin is gaining legitimacy.
Totally.
But here's the really fascinating part. The report goes beyond just price action.
Oh, yeah?
And it talks about, a whole new Bitcoin ecosystem developing.
I was so intrigued by that part.
Yeah. It's not just about Bitcoin going up in price.
Right?
It's about what's being built on top of it.
Exactly.
We're seeing layer 2s, bridges, virtual machines,
Mm.
all sorts of innovations that suggest A future where Bitcoin is more than just a store of value.
Yeah, like Bitcoin is evolving and expanding what it can do.
Exactly.
But what about those who say that, Bitcoin is just digital gold,
Right.
that we shouldn't mess with it? Like, does the report address that?
It does, yeah. It mentions the Ordinals protocol,
Okay.
which lets people inscribe data on the Bitcoin blockchain.
Oh, right. I've heard about that.
Yeah, and that sparked a lot of debate in the Bitcoin community
Yeah, I can imagine.
about, how far Bitcoin's programmability should go.
Right.
Some people think it's straying from Bitcoin's core principles,
I see.
while others see it as a natural evolution.
It's like there are two camps within Bitcoin,
Totally.
each with their own vision for its future.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's BIP 347
Oh, yeah.
that could, potentially unlock even more smart contract stuff on Bitcoin, right?
BIP 347 is definitely a hot topic.
Yep.
It's controversial, but it shows that there's growing interest in exploring what else Bitcoin can do.
Beyond just being a store of value.
Yeah,
So it seems like Bitcoin's at a crossroads.
it is. But it's clear that the ecosystem is super dynamic and constantly evolving.
Yeah, always keeping us on our toes.
That's for sure.
It's amazing how Bitcoin still manages to surprise us even after all these years.
I know, right? It's like the gift that keeps on giving.
Okay, let's move on to another blockchain that's been making waves. Solana.
Oh, yeah. Solana's been killing it.
This report highlights its crazy performance in 2024.
It was a good year for Solana.
They even call it the high beta play of the crypto market.
High beta, huh? So like higher risk, higher reward.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
Solana hit all-time highs.
Wow.
And its dominance compared to Ethereum is like steadily increasing.
It's like people are really buying into Solana's vision.
Totally. That whole high throughput, low latency thing.
Right. Speed is king.
And it seems like that vision is really resonating with the whole meme coin craze we saw this year.
Yeah, meme coins were everywhere.
The report mentions that a big chunk of Solana's growth is linked to meme coin trading.
Interesting.
What do you think about that?
Well, it's definitely true that meme coin mania played a big role.
Yeah.
Solana's DX, their decentralized exchanges, they're seeing trading volumes that are even higher than Ethereum's now.
Really?
Yeah. And what's even crazier is that Solana traders seem to be less sensitive to fees.
What do you mean?
They're willing to pay higher fees to get in on the action.
Huh. That's interesting.
It's like they're prioritizing speed and efficiency over cost, which, aligns perfectly with Solana's whole design philosophy.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But is there a risk that this whole meme coin driven growth isn't sustainable?
That's a good question. I mean, what happens when the hype dies down?
Right.
It's definitely a valid concern.
Yeah.
The report does acknowledge that, there could be a correction,
Okay.
especially with those future token unlocks coming up.
Right.
But it also points out that Solana's been working hard to make the network stronger.
Oh, how so?
They're focused on improving decentralization and reducing MEV, which are both super important for long-term stability.
Yeah, gotta have that solid foundation.
Exactly. It's a balancing act, riding the meme coin wave while also building for the future.
So Solana is this high energy, high growth blockchain,
Yeah.
but it's not without its risks.
That's true, but that's what makes it so exciting, right?
I guess.
We're seeing this whole new financial system being built.
Yeah,
And there are going to be bumps along the way,
for sure.
but the innovation happening is just incredible.
Okay, speaking of innovation,
Yeah.
Coinbase predicts that 2025 is going to be the year of the tokenization revolution.
Tokenization revolution.
They think the market for tokenized real-world assets
Right.
could reach trillions of dollars in the next few years.
Wow, trillions. That's a bold prediction.
Yeah, it's a pretty huge statement.
Tokenization is one of those things that could completely change how we think about ownership
Oh, yeah?
and value,
Yeah.
It basically lets you turn any real-world asset, like a stock, a bond, real estate.
Oh, wow. So like creating a digital twin for a physical thing?
Exactly.
I can see how that would open up all sorts of possibilities.
Right. And the benefits are huge.
Like what?
Faster transactions, more efficiency.
Okay.
It can make it easier for people to invest in assets that were, previously out of reach.
Oh, interesting.
And it could create whole new markets for illiquid assets.
That's pretty cool. But I imagine there are some challenges too, right?
Of course.
Like bringing traditional assets onto a blockchain can't be easy.
Yeah, you're definitely right about that.
Yeah.
There are some hurdles to overcome,
Well, yeah.
like regulatory uncertainty, and we need solid legal frameworks to govern these tokenized assets.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Another challenge is liquidity fragmentation.
Oh, what's that?
So if you have the same asset tokenized on different blockchains,
Okay.
it can create these silos of liquidity.
Ah, I see. Making it harder to trade efficiently.
Exactly.
Okay, so tokenization definitely has the potential to be huge,
Yeah,
but it's not without its challenges.
for sure, but the momentum behind it is undeniable.
It seems like the traditional financial world is finally starting to pay attention to blockchain.
They're catching on slowly but surely.
And it's not just tokenization, right?
Right.
The report also talks about the rise of stablecoins.
Oh, yeah. Stablecoins have been on fire.
They've seen explosive growth this past year.
Explosive is right. Their transaction volume is over $27 trillion.
That's insane.
And we're seeing them being integrated into traditional payment systems more and more.
Yeah, like when Stripe bought that stablecoin company.
Oh, yeah. That was a big deal.
Over $1 billion.
It shows that the major players are taking stablecoins seriously.
For sure.
And what's interesting is that it doesn't seem like we're headed towards a world dominated by just a few big stablecoins.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen?
Well, the report talks about the possibility of a more fragmented stablecoin landscape,
Okay.
where you have lots of smaller stablecoins that are, interoperable.
Well, like a multi-currency world, but for digital assets.
Exact.
That's an interesting thought.
Yeah, it could really foster more innovation and competition.
Giving users more choices.
Precisely.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
From the macro trends shaping the crypto market to the rise of Solana,
Yep.
the tokenization revolution,
Right.
and the stablecoin boom.
It's been a wild ride.
But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's take a closer look at Layer 2 networks.
Okay.
Those are playing a huge role in scaling both Ethereum and Bitcoin.
For sure.
And we'll dive deeper into stablecoins.
Sounds good.
And we'll talk about regulation.
Can't forget about regulation.
That's a big one. All right, so we've talked about all this crazy growth.
Yeah.
But one thing that keeps popping up is scalability.
Right. Like, how can these blockchains actually handle millions, billions of transactions?
That's where Layer 2 networks come in.
Layer 2s, yeah, they're essential.
And Coinbase's report really emphasizes how crucial they are.
Definitely.
It's like they're these bustling side streets
Oh, I like that analogy.
that help alleviate the traffic on the main blockchain highway.
Makes sense. So they're taking some of the load off the main chain?
Exactly. They handle a lot of the transactions off-chain,
Okay.
which makes things faster and cheaper.
Gotcha.
The report highlights how much Layer 2s have blown up this year.
They've been growing like crazy.
Like, daily transaction counts for Ethereum Layer 2s,
Yeah.
they went up almost 300%.
Whoa, that's huge.
And the number of people using them daily more than doubled.
It's a sign that they're working.
Yeah, like they're delivering on that promise of a better user experience.
Right.
The report actually gets into the nitty-gritty of how they work,
Oh, cool.
talking about data availability layers and the main Ethereum network.
Yeah, it can get pretty technical.
It's a lot of, like, complex stuff.
But the main thing is that all these pieces are working together to make Ethereum more scalable and efficient.
And it's not just Ethereum, right?
Right.
The report mentions Bitcoin using these Layer 2 innovations too.
That's right. Even Bitcoin, the OG blockchain, is learning from Ethereum.
It seems like it.
Which is super exciting because it could open up a whole new world for Bitcoin.
Yeah, like imagine decentralized staking on Bitcoin.
Exactly. Or even more complex smart contracts.
It's a big shift.
It could totally change what Bitcoin can do.
So Layer 2s are clearly a game changer.
Absolutely.
But let's go back to stablecoins for a minute.
Okay.
We talked about their crazy growth before.
Those numbers were mind-blowing.
But the report dives deeper into what's driving that growth.
Yeah, what's fueling the fire?
And where stablecoins might be headed.
Interesting.
I mean, we've already seen the numbers, $27 trillion in transaction volume.
It's hard to even wrap your head around that.
But what's really cool is how stablecoins are changing the way we think about payments.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's not just crypto people using them anymore.
Right.
We're seeing big companies integrating them into their systems.
Like Stripe with that acquisition.
Yeah, that was a major signal.
Totally.
Like, traditional payment giants are seeing the value in stablecoins.
The efficiency, the low cost.
Like a validation of the whole concept.
Yeah, for sure.
But are we heading toward a world where, like, a few big stablecoins control everything?
Good question.
Or is there room for more diversity?
Well, the report explores this idea of a more fragmented stablecoin landscape where different stablecoins cater to different needs, different use cases.
So like a multi-currency system, but for digital assets.
Exactly. It's an interesting concept.
It would be cool to see that play out.
Yeah, it could lead to more innovation, more competition.
More choices for users.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got these game-changing technologies
Yeah.
like layer 2s and stablecoins, disrupting the financial system.
Shaking things up.
But we can't forget about the elephant in the room.
Which is?
Regulation.
Oh, right, regulation, of course.
How are governments reacting to all this?
Yeah, that's the big question.
This whole rapidly changing crypto landscape.
Coinbase spends a good chunk of the report looking at global regulations.
Okay.
It's a complicated landscape,
Yeah, for sure.
and it's always changing. But overall, it seems like things are moving towards more clarity, more acceptance,
That's good to hear.
especially in the U.S.
It sounds like the pro-crypto Congress is making a difference.
Absolutely. The report even suggests that the U.S. could become a leader in crypto adoption,
Wow.
thanks to a more favorable regulatory environment.
Interesting.
And it's not just the U.S.
No?
The EU's moving forward with its MiCA regulations.
Right.
And we're seeing progress in places like Hong Kong and the UAE.
So it's becoming more of a global trend.
Definitely. It seems like governments are realizing they can't ignore crypto anymore.
It's amazing to see how this whole space has matured
It really is.
from those early Bitcoin days.
To this complex ecosystem we have now.
It's been quite a journey.
It has. And this Coinbase report has been a gold mine of insights.
I agree.
Gives us a glimpse into what the future might hold.
And one thing's for sure, this technology isn't going away.
It's here to stay.
Crypto isn't just about speculation anymore.
Right.
It's about building a better financial system.
A more decentralized, more inclusive system.
And it's already having a huge impact on the world.
It really is.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
I have one question for you.
Okay,
What role do you see yourself playing in this crypto revolution?
that's a great question.
It's more than just an investment opportunity.
It's a chance to be a part of something truly transformative.
Well said.
Thanks.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Coinbase's 2025 crypto market outlook.
It's been a pleasure.
It's been a wild ride,
Uh,
and we can't wait to see what the future holds for crypto.
me neither. It's going to be exciting.
To the future.
Cheers to that.